Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block. I am here with another week of Healthy House tips to create a space inside your home that is as toxin free as possible and that supports a healthy immune system and a healthy body. Today, I'm going to help you understand and walk through a deep dive of a toxin. So I've done this before, and we've done some of the bigger toxins that are in your home as far as things that are really harmful to our health. Today, we're going to talk about phenol toxins. This is a toxin that I didn't really know about until a little bit later. It's not one that we hear about a lot. It's not one of the big ones, right? But it's in so many of our products and it's in so many materials and things around our house that I thought it would be really helpful for us to walk through it and kind of start to find out what it's in, how we can remove it, how it's affecting our health, and who it's affecting in our homes. I think it's important to note that this toxin is probably one of the more scary toxins for like infants and for very young children. So if you have young children or if you have infants or even if you're pregnant, this is a really good toxin to be aware of. And what I found was that it's actually surprisingly easy to swap out some things in your house to get rid of it completely. I was really pleasantly surprised, and a lot of the changes that we had already made in our house removed that toxin because I was focusing on toxins that it's often paired with. So a lot of times, phenols are also in the same products as like formaldehyde. It's in the same type of products that like synthetic fragrances are in. So if you've already kind of started doing these things and started cutting these types of toxins out of your home, you probably have already cut out some phenol toxins as well. Phenol is not something that we need to be scared of, but we do need to be aware of it, and we need to get it out of our house as much as we can. And I think the number one reason is because while a lot of products have like trace amounts of it, we are using a lot of these products. And so when you add it all up, we're really coming in contact with this toxin quite frequently. The other part of it is it has quite a few different negative health effects. It's not just, some toxins tend to be just disrupting the endocrine system. Some toxins tend to just disrupt, something in our bodies. This toxin really affects a multitude of things within our body. I think the most important is that it does mimic estrogen, and so it does disrupt our hormones. Once hormones are imbalanced, what can happen, like a chain effect of that, is an increased risk of like breast cancer, obesity, things like that. So we want to really get a handle on how we can get rid of the toxin. And I'm sharing with you this week some of my specific products that I have swapped out, because I think sometimes that's helpful instead of just saying, oh, just go look for a non-toxic product. So I'm going to share with you the exact products that I use in some of these instances, and then how I go about finding toxin-free products to get this toxin out of my house. So I have some slides ready for you guys, and we're going to go through them, and you're going to learn everything there is to know about phenols in your home. So let's take a look at phenol toxins. We're going to look at how they affect your health, how easily they are to swap out, and where they are found in your house. So first, let's kind of cover what are these toxins. Phenols are made of organic compounds. They're weakly acidic. They're also water soluble. They're often used in like the medical field as a disinfectant. They're also found like naturally from decomposing organic material and waste. They're also from tar and coal. Phenol is like it's formed during forest fires, as well as from the creosote and benzene fumes that are produced. It has the ability to burn skin, and that's due to the disinfecting properties of the toxin. Our skin absorbs it very quickly, and it's added to a lot of different products like resins, anything that has BPA, synthetic fibers. So let's talk about where they are in your house. I think this is going to be one of the most important things that you can understand. So like I mentioned earlier, we come in contact with phenols constantly in our day-to-day lives. And I think this is where the biggest problem comes into play, because coming into contact with this toxin in one product might be fine for our bodies to handle. But once you add up all the places that we're allowing this toxin into our home, it adds up quickly and our bodies become burdened. So here's the list. I mean, it's air fresheners, deodorants, hairsprays, mouthwash, aspirin, acne medications, cleaning products, detergents, furniture polish, aerosol disinfectants, cosmetics, disinfecting cleaners, all-purpose cleaners, sunscreens, lotions. Plywood is another one. The adhesive that's used to adhere plywoods and other composite woods together has these phenols in them. It's also present in plastics, fertilizers, paints, textiles within your homes. Because phenol is added to herbicides and fertilizers, it's also important to mention that drinking water can become contaminated. And so we want to be testing our drinking water as well. So it doesn't mean you need to cut out every single one of these because some of them might be hard to cut out, like plywood in your home. But finding a healthier, more natural product for the things that you can control helps you start to eliminate it from your home areas as best you can, and it's a really healthy change that you can make. So let's talk about some of the health effects of phenol toxins. It is quickly absorbed through the skin, and it begins to negatively affect the kidneys and liver right away. Some animal studies that have been done indicate that phenol can negatively affect fetal development actually when ingested. Most studies kind of point to the fact that phenols are most toxic to infants and unborn babies, as the absorption rate is so high with this toxin. There was actually a study done that showed phenol had been associated with reductions in fetal weight and an increase in like kind of unusual neurological symptoms in newborns. Phenols also mimic estrogenic activity, which can in turn cause hormone imbalance. And one thing we know that comes from unbalanced hormones is an increased risk in skin cancer or in breast cancer development. So we want to be careful of that because it's kind of a chain reaction. And then one of the larger studies conducted on phenols suggests that it is toxic to the reproductive system in both men and women. So something we definitely want to keep out of our homes. So some of the things that you can do to easily swap things out is just be really conscious of what you're buying. One of the best ways to cut any toxin out of your home is to be intentional with what you're bringing in. You're the keeper of your home and you get to decide what comes in and what your family uses. So this is why I love the idea of conscious consumerism, and I think it's so important. I will point out that it doesn't mean you go find something that says free, eco-friendly, free and clear, healthy, whatever. Those are unregulated terms and they don't really mean a whole lot. Instead, you kind of have to do a little bit of research. But the great thing about cutting out phenol toxins is that many of the products that contain them are really easy swaps. So I'm going to share with you my personal swaps for products that have had this in it. Air fresheners, I use instead organic essential oils and a high quality diffuser. Detergents, I mostly use 7th generation for like laundry and dish detergents, but you can check the Think Dirty app to see what'll work with your family. Same with cosmetics. I generally use like a Burt's Bees, which isn't 100% toxin free, but it has cut out many of the toxins that I'm trying to avoid. I'm definitely a minimalist when it comes to makeup, and so I don't buy a lot of products in the first place, so that makes it helpful. And then there's cleaners and disinfectants. I opt for a plant-based cleaner. I use Thieves. It's my go-to disinfectant or just cleaner. And then I have a go-to disinfectant, which is 7th generation. I have all of those linked on the blog post this week. And then some more simple swaps would be lotions and sunscreens. I use an Everyone unscented lotion and a Badger Balm sunscreen. But again, check the Think Dirty app because you can find lots and lots of alternatives for your family. If you're concerned about plywood, use a plywood sealer. It seals not only the phenols in, but formaldehyde as well, and so they won't off-gas into your home. Fertilizers, using a plant fertilizer that's made of natural components is the best option. I have 2 blog posts linked this week in this blog post that cover outdoor and indoor fertilizers that you can use in your yard and on your plants. And then plastics, opt for items that are made of metal, wood, glass, or ceramic. So I hope you guys were able to take away some really good information, and I'm wondering if maybe you kind of feel the same way that I do, that it actually is going to be pretty easy to get rid of a lot of sources that have this toxin within it in your home. If you have any questions, you are always more than welcome to email me or contact me on a social media page. I have my blog post about phenol toxins linked below. It contains the links for all of the products that I swapped to, as well as all of the studies that I have referenced in the health effects section of this video. So feel free to visit that to get all of those links and read up on any more, or find out the product names and where you can get them to swap out your own products at home. Until next week, I hope you guys are well, and I will be here again to give you another tip on how to create a healthy home.